Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin.
You know what's happening? You know what?
Nope. I know we're live. Hello, Jerry.
Kill everyone. Kill them all. That's what we do. Hello.
Hello, Internet. Well, on that heavy thought, I need to grab myself a beer.
Oh, okay. You do that.
You, for a second, you thought I would go again with my brown lemonade, you wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, we all know your love of that party.
Next week again. I'll have a large one.
Sweet.
Hello, Orakinoko Witch, Dibbits Up, Spekitas, Rubbly8 Denley, and Dutch Benzion also. Welcome to our elusive little round of applause.
So we were just discussing how many bastards have got private projects.
Parts? Oh, projects, not parts.
Shocking amount of people. Shocking amount. Zorg is up to 12 recommendations on his project because he keeps posting stuff in it. And then I go in and look at it and then comment on it, do stuff. And he's not alone. Just put them live. You fucks.
Maybe you should rephrase that. Those aren't private projects. Those are Housewater exclusive projects.
Housewater leaders exclusive projects. Although I will just start doing screenshots of them and putting them into Housewater as well. Hashtag best house. What's this forum shit on the Discord channel, by the way? What's that balls?
I have no idea. I've seen something pop up. As the curious person I am, started typing stuff in, and all of a sudden it exploded.
In that case, Becky, it's entirely possible yours was one of the private ones I was in then. Because I was in a load of private ones, but I definitely seen something that you've been working on and was going, oh, but not tonight, because we'd already filled up on gas. But yeah, so the forum thing, I looked at that and it was, this is mostly balls, but I quite like it. It's like 6 topics, it's like 12 responses, 8 responses, 3 responses, 20 responses. Why is House of Water the best house? 74 responses. That right there is why we're the best house. Fucking get in.
Weird times. We can't have a proper forum on OTT, but we now have a pseudo forum on the OTT Discord.
We've got a proper forum there. It just doesn't always work. Actually, that's not true. It does work. Just nobody goes near it. Just go near it, people. Just go near it. Like House of Water. Hashtag best pool.
Oh, he's gone. You just vanished into the air.
Listen.
So I've seen you have brought quite a list tonight.
No.
With very interesting pictures.
Yes.
Shall
we start? A couple of them are very short.
Yes.
Just to let people know that they're out there. But yeah, let's get this road on the show, as they say in France. Hi, Emma.
Hello, Emma. Welcome. Hope you're feeling better.
So,
Balthazar.
It's
me, Mario.
Still refusing to publish pictures of the dragon's face for Ben, but
no, he didn't. He did.
Only one post in here, and it's because he's just about to start doing a conversion of Gaslands using the Gaslands refueled, based off 9 toy cars that he found on Fleabay. So he's going to be running Mario Kart Gasland.
And the funny thing is, Mario Kart is actually, from the video game perspective itself, a very proper transition.
Oh yeah. That is fucking genius.
It is.
And I can only assume that, I don't know where those little toys came from. Whether they were like little dinky toys or Hot Wheel Mario Kart toys or free with a Happy Meal or what. But I can imagine quite a lot of people would be heading Fleabay and looking for them, even as we speak. However, definitely one to have a look at. If you've never seen Gaslands, it'll be fascinating to see what he does, because Gaslands is quite killy. It's very death race in the way you race around, because you can upgrade and up armor your vehicle or your big rig or your squads of motorcycle lunatics with chainsaws. So tweaking that into bananas and red shells and blue shells and stuff, not going to be a major issue, but I just want to see what they do. So
yeah, and also I really would like to see him do the rainbow track as a table.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
Yes, I can.
Oh, I mean, right off the bat, step one, all the epileptics leave. Just something done with a lot of clear acetate.
Yeah,
Perspex.
making a rainbow blood track with blinking lights and everything.
Ba, 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 ba. Anyway, so yeah.
Oh, hello, Taffy. Welcome. Yeah, they did a Mario Kart in Scalextrics, but this is a thing that definitely needs to be followed along and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
watched for later.
I'll be creeping along after him, seeing what he gets up to, touching his stuff, rating his buttons.
And it's no use putting it in private back now since Jerry has seen it and now it's
There's no point
more or
putting
less
things-
public domain.
No point putting things in private anyway. Just I can't stress that enough.
That just garners your attention.
Somebody, I want to say it was Horatio Noseblower, actually. I'd been through like 5 or 6 of his projects, and then there was one I think was actually published with nothing in it. And I go, this is like the 6th one I've seen tonight. And all the other ones that are all still private have got shit in them. This one just had nothing. It's kind of, I was confused.
I think he mentioned something along those lines in an email to me saying, I'm teasing Jerry.
It's an outrage. He'll find himself with all his projects deleted.
Oh.
That'll harden him. Anyway.
Yeah, so this is just the start of a wonderful friendship.
I would say you can remove the word probably from that line, Spanky. There is definitely a forum somewhere where they're discussing whether or not Princess Peach takes up the tailpipe.
I'd say yes. Oh no, Dutch has said something naughty. Automod has got him.
Oh dear.
But
Well, he would.
we'll allow it.
Anyway.
Next is the Battle of Dorking by Denzian.
Denzi, as you call him, rightly so, in. Presumably, after doing all his Zulu stuff, he had some extra British kicking around in boxes full of Perrys. And also the Martians. So, at that point, why not do the Home Guard and invade Great Britain?
Again.
Yeah, I wouldn't go out there and Google it. I'll put it like that. I'm fairly certain you will definitely find Princess Peach taking it roughly from behind. Anyway,
being favourable of her exhaust.
Mm.
I mean, there's Bowser in that gender-changed costume from a few years ago, so...
Sure. I cherish my ignorance. Anyway. So, Battle of Dorking... is it a... Because Denzi's in the chat. About to start the Prussians. Happy days. So is he saying it was written in the 1870s by an army officer? Is it written as, like a Team Yankee, a fictional invasion of Britain? Or is it written like a Kriegspiel style, this is how it would play out style? Because I'm curious. Because I think I've seen somebody else talk about Battle of Dorking. Probably Bob, actually. Bob. But I haven't ever encountered it in the wild. Anyway.
There's a lot in it.
There is. So it starts
Many
off
miniatures.
a bit of a blurb about the book and some pictures from is it the Perry's own table? Where, look at that, it can't be the Perry's own table, it fits in a room. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, yeah. It's only 10 by 6, so there you go. Oh, break out the mold line thing. Is that what you're saying? Yeah, the Tinker's jizz. That's great, though. I do appreciate that more and more every day. Fictional invasion, looking back by a veteran. Oh, okay, right. Fascinating. So yeah, it's ostensibly at the moment the British Home Guard wearing their delightful Home Guard helmets. Are you tweaking the men who would be king or running them straight? Because it's a simple system to tweak if you need to fit certain things in. but I don't know anything about the book and if it requires the tweakinage. Look at this.
A wake-up call to British complacency in relying too much on the Navy. Ah, yes. He's running it straight so far, he says.
Okay. Yeah, you know, it works. Also, the fact that it contains an AI is handy, because it means you can, if you do decide to tweak things, you can play test it before you inflict it on other people and see whether or not it fucks the game. Look how beautiful they are. Yeah, the Perry stuff's nice. Despite only having 3 arms.
So many table. So much free real estate.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating to see where that goes. And also the models can do double dipping because they'll work in the Martian War as well, in case he needs to add in any riflemen.
Martians invading England. Germany comes to the rescue. There's a story.
Yeah, I really like the converted rifleman from the wounded guy lying down.
This is farther up, wasn't it? This one.
3rd unit complete. Stop. That's the one. Which is really good because when you see the painted one just above it, you look at it, you're going, well, it looks like a rifleman pose that you would see in any of the sharp sort of Napoleonic boxes and that sort of thing, where they're always creeping around and firing off their boot heels and shit. You do, but the chances of anything coming from Mars are 1,000,000 to 1, they say. Anyway, so yeah.
But never zero.
Battle of Dorking. It's like being killed by a cow. Chances never zero.
Was that Discworld? I think, yeah. If it's a chance 1 in a million, you better take that chance.
1 in a million chances come up 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, that's about it. As Demon Sub also readily repeats a passable phrase for the evening. Ah, Discworld. Oh, speaking of, today I was talking to someone about me having bought some Frostgrave Wizards. Only then to realize I shouldn't have.
No.
Because I could use my Granny Weatherwax and my Tiffany Aking as wizard and apprentice.
Oh, fuck yeah. For a long time, the Discworld miniatures I have sitting around here, I've planned on using them for Frostgrave because they're fucking massive. They're like GW levels of fucking massive. So they won't fit anything else. Wherever they're going to be used for, they need to be used by themselves. So I contemplated going that way and doing just Frostgrave because I've got the full Wizards and Witches sets and the Guard set and a load of other cunts running about the place. But you know.
Welcome, Crispin. You only have missed 1 project so far, and that's this one.
That's 2.
No, the second one is still on screen. So
yeah, but it's about to go off screen.
You missed this one.
Somebody's going to be playing Mario Kart using Gaslands, which is a genius idea. There's big long hair in my fan. I don't know whose that is. Could be anyone's. It's entirely possible it's mine.
Is it? So, Taochi is doing Marvel Crisis Protocol.
That is correct. Taochi, which is how that's pronounced. Taochi.
Gesundheit.
I've no idea if that's how it's pronounced. It's how I pronounce it every fucking time. Best house, Crispin. Best house. But there's been a few bits and pieces added in here. So the Cabal have been finished off. Adding in Bullseye, who's not Colin Farrell, which is a shame because he was the best part of that fucking film. Mystique, Baron Mordo, and some fella with horned helmet. He's never going to get anywhere. They're never going to make anything out of him in the MCU.
In your time of need, you come to me.
That's the one. So a nice set of heroic characters. And then after that, he moves into the slightly more esoteric. So I don't think I've ever come across the Hood.
I seem to remember him vaguely from comics way back when.
I read a small amount of Marvel. I mostly read DC. So there's an awful lot of the really weird ones that I haven't seen. Well, that being said, there's quite a lot of really weird ones that I have seen because they would occasionally get like a little mini one-shot story in the Ghost Rider book that I used to get every month. So you would see like Cloak and Dagger and people like that creeping in the background to do something. But interesting looking fella. It reminds me of the demon Ertigan. He seems to be some sort of possessed fucker.
Yeah, it has some flamey bits to it.
I imagine that's probably just some sort of creepy whirlpool thing that he's going through. I think we'd been here before when he was working on Viper, Cabal, or at least I had been anyway. Ever read Faust? I love Faust. And even the film of Faust is particularly fucked up. And then I looked at it and it was like, is this just like a low budget version of Spawn? But no, because it came out like 2 years before Spawn. Both the comic book and the film predate Spawn. And to be fair, being turned into a puddle of boobs is an amazing way to kill anyone. So I'm all for that.
Back up the days.
Grendel, no. Didn't see Grendel. But yeah, I think I have sneaking suspicion I may have forced a golden button upon him.
Can you force them upon people?
Yeah, oh god, yeah. Oh, I'm very much about non-consensual golden buttonage.
As long as it's just a golden button and not a golden butt plug.
Well, you know, there's a reason they call butt things.
Oh, fair enough.
But the heroes are great, but I love the work that Dao Ji has done on the buildings. You'll obviously hate some of them because they're 3D printed and you can see the wibbly bits.
You can see wobbly bits?
Wibbly bits.
Oh no.
On his 3D printings. There's Soap.
Hello, Soap.
Get you to Germans. Oh
Can't
my
be.
god.
You'd be 5 minutes early.
Are you still in Germany? You just arrived in Germany? What's the ratio of Soap to German right now?
This project is going on for some time.
Yeah. I said that. If you were paying attention, you'd probably have seen whenever you got the golden button and could have come in after the community spotlight and looked at some of these and clicked the buttons. Even painted a little walkie figure on the walkie sign.
Like where's the fun in that?
When you walkie walk. You're back for 2 hours and you're coming here. Oh, you're a fucking legend. Because quite frankly, if I'd been back off holiday for a couple of hours, I'd be in the pub. Just saying.
So many. Oh, look at that. Tiny little comics.
Yeah. He debugulated and printed out the comics so he could stick them on the front of the empty pages on the newsstand.
I need pictures of Spider-Man.
You need pictures of Spider-Man, or you want pictures of... Because you've already passed Spider-Man quite some time ago.
I was trying to impersonate that weird news person.
Oh, Jonah J. Jameson?
Yes.
Or is it J. Jonah Jameson?
The cunt with the cigar. Well, that doesn't really narrows it down, does it?
Not really. Have you seen the meme that went around a while ago where it was like the Green Goblin choking him, and it was doing that in people's final moments? You'll see what sort of a person they actually are. And it's, tell me who takes the photographs of Spider-Man, and he goes, they come in anonymously. And there's this big thing about him being a fucking legend. In all the pictures of the newspapers in that film, photography P. Parker is credited on all of them if you freeze frame. He didn't need to go and strangle an old man in his fucking office. He could have just read a paper. Jesus, they're only like $1, for fuck's sake. Mug an old woman. Don't even need to pay $1. I'm just, Green Goblin. He ranks up there with Batman for his investigative skills. He's a
Today
cock.
on Plot Hole Tuesday.
What a cock. Right. Anyway, so yeah, if you're liking the Marvel Crisis Protocol, I like Dao G's mix of miniatures and backgroundery, which I think is the correct term for it.
Yeah, I guess.
And also his tiny comics, which I think he linked where he got some of his tiny comics and stuff from, because there's some sort of railway type place where you can just download paper and scraps and shit to print out. That's already been descaled, debigulated for railway modelers.
What I find is these throwing knives, if you don't look too closely, it look like he's got some scissors in his hands, and in my headcanon he's just waiting for some superhero with long hair to come along to just snip.
Samson. He's on the lookout for superhero Samson.
Or maybe Thor or something. Now you're bold.
You know, whenever Delilah screamed, "I've cut it off," his hair wasn't the first thing Samson checked.
Well,
and on that note,
oh no!
Busy Fires and Songs.
New project? Not this one. This one.
Yeah, well, I'll do that. You're probably going to be typing shit.
Why would you use such a complicated abbreviation for a game?
Because it's a song of ice and fire.
Yeah, but just go
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, the game.
You know, because Co-Miniature or not didn't have the rights for Game of Thrones, but they managed to get the book rights for Song of Ice and Fire.
At least for those books that have been written.
That's fine. I think that's pretty much everything's covered at that stage. They're not, unless they introduce some sort of massive undead chicken out of the arse in the last book.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if George R. Martin just goes into the last book and says, "Fuck it, I'm going to screw with you."
Right off the bat, Dumbledore was gay the whole time and Hermione was black. No, George, no! Sorry, J.K. Rowling. Force of habit. It's like Netflix. Anyway, Horace has been working through a variety of things, mostly ASOIAF, as all the cool kids call it.
Oh, I almost read this as cleavage cavalry.
Could be. It has to be said, Gregor Clegane was fond of cleaving things in twain, so in that respect, cleavage cavalry would not be
too far off.
Unwrong. But yeah, the whole forces coming together are truly magnificent. It's kind of a shame it's for ASOIAF and not, KOW. Proper game.
KOW.
Kings of War.
Oh, I thought there was some kind of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I'm still holding out for a world of ASOIAF. Well, to be inside the Dyson Sphere. Why not? Why fucking not? At this stage of the game, anything can happen. Doctor Who could arrive and sort it all out, or some shit. I mean, there's bound to be some licensed properties that have fallen into, public domain. Fucking Flash Gordon crashes down in a fight with Ming the Merciless, does all the dragons up like a kipper.
I just imagine at the last pages the door to a temple. Ancient temple opens and out comes a Dalek going, "Exterminate." Well, the story can only go up, I think.
Well, you say that. I feel these models look better than Kings of War. Feels less like single pose monstrosity somewhere. It's funny you say that because those are majority single pose compared to the Kings of War stuff that are multi pose. No, nobody's allowed to touch Logan's Run. It's amazing. But it's nice to see the ASOIAF forces out there.
Why do I think of Star League Defense Force now? I don't know why.
I have no idea. And look, Nordland. Not as good as Everland. But, you know, can't have everything.
Why not? Why can't we have everything?
Teach their own. I like the Kings of War stuff. But I was more talking about the fact that Kings of War isn't a shit game than the miniatures. Because those miniatures could be used in Kings of War. To get them off those round bases to fuck. Look, it's got 2 packs of dwarven hunting mastiffs being misabused and misused with some pricks with bows behind them.
That's just throwing the stick to catch and fetch on another level.
Outrageous. There's a dwarf army out there be crying out for those, just saying. But yeah, I love the big grip shots when you get people like House Tully or Boltons or what have you together, and you see like almost like a proper army. I say that. Almost like half a proper army. I've no idea. No idea what the ground scale or figure count is for ASOIF.
All of the minis. Why the bloody hell isn't this thing counting by clicks again?
It's waiting for you to click it, and then it just wants to double check that you're not lying. Don't lie. Never lie.
I'm always lying, you know that.
Well, once they're off those terrible round bases and onto something proper, so you could, yeah.
For whatever reason, suddenly Oldhammer in the middle.
Well, because it's just Horace's rundown of what he's painting. So it mixes. It just happens to be whatever he's up to doing. So there was a load of zombie side back in January. And then there was a little bit of a break. And all of a sudden, July's been a very productive month for photography, if not actually for painting, it has to be said.
Mm. Yeah, I wonder, there was a little in the ways of how he paints and makes them up.
No, it's not. It's nothing there about the tutorials, which is why you can skip the tutoring button and just go straight for the skill. I
think Soap Dodger wants any of his golden buttons removed.
That's fine.
Like big round bases.
Hey, you know, he's an Infinity player. It's probably all the fumes from the Seocast going up his nose. Sweet, sweet Seocast. Can't wait for the next ones.
Has Kings of War had its German translation released? I couldn't tell you.
Yes.
See, there's your answer, Orinoco.
There was an announcement about it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. And yeah, mid to end of July, they made the announcement.
Hello, Nick. Your point being, yes, we are nerds, so...
Maybe he's just really desperate for a packet of the little sweets called nerds.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately, they've not produced those in years after discovering that they were so toxic. So instead, they sent them to a company in Italy who melted them down and turned them into infinity miniatures for soup.
I'm still all for a miniatures game with edible miniatures. Just get wasted on your army after the fight.
Somebody had done, what was it they did? Oh, edible dice. You can get edible polyhedral dice. Which is, you know, weird.
Well, you could basically play various board games with just replace the token with any kind of sweets. But I'm talking proper molded miniatures. Chocolate mold injection.
Yes.
Yeah, Spanky, you're not wrong. But,
like that crazy Frenchman.
That one who ate at Chesna and other things?
Yeah, he was born, I want to say it was like the 15th of June, 1950. So it was the middle day of the middle month of the middle year of the middle deck, or maybe 1955, I can't remember, of the middle. It was just like lots of middles, and he thought this gave him some special powers. And then when he started eating metal, he discovered it did. It gave him the power to eat metal.
Yeah, I remember reading an article about him saying his the walls of his throat were 3 times as thick as the normal human being, and his stomach acid was highly more acidic.
It's yeah, yeah.
He didn't look
interesting.
healthy, though, after eating that Cessna.
To be fair, he's dead now, so it couldn't have gone particularly well for him in the grand scheme of things. It's a tiny fly that's been annoying me for days now. Fuck you, tiny fly.
Can you explain me why tiny flies are so attracted to fresh paint?
Oh. It's the sweet, sweet smell of paint. Who could resist it?
I thought animals would, but then again...
Oh no, they're fucking idiots.
Yeah. But we are venturing off here of a very interesting project. This is Count. The Count?
Count.
Uglip, what is he doing? Is this just his painting pile? So basically a rundown of what he has done so far. Potentially much more than me.
Yep. What he's at, what he's bought, how he's done, blah blah blah. At the moment, we're tying on Batman from Night Models. Both have one, none of it's done. So well done us. Well, it's true.
You take the small victories.
Fucking very much so. Very much so. I like the ruined buildings he's got going on there.
They look very much like made for Fallout.
Almost undoubtedly so. They're from TT Combat though, but they'll work for anything post-apocalyptic-y. I don't know if he's got anything in mind for it, because everything else in this has been pretty much sci-fi. Oh no, there was something weird early. There might have been Fallout early on. Might be that. Anyway, I think we were here before looking at the Star Saga stuff. Although again, that may have been me.
Must have been some time ago.
Oh, I know, that was just me then.
God, Commanders, Graves, and Medibots.
Yeah, that's Star Saga. So, yeah, I've seen these. Medibot. Different type of saga, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
It'll fit. I'll make it fit.
Yep. 100%.
I mean, we have Frostgrave, we have Stargrave. Why shouldn't we have Star Saga?
Well, because, different. That's actually got... Because I didn't realise that they did a Breaking of Batman Bane model until last week when I was looking through their stuff, trying to work out how emo Batman works. I discovered it. And I was like, In fact, I think it's on this flyer beside me. And it was like, oh, that's really fucking nice. Now I have to buy that. Oh, well, fuck you, Night Models. Gas cans. But, apart from the joyous view of somebody painting all his Star Saga stuff, and actually getting a...
What the hell is that?
What the hell's what? That's a Chuvar. It used to have some sort of crazy designation, but what you do is you get a peaceful psychic alien, and then you fuck with it in a lab.
And then it goes mental.
It does go a little bit mental, that is true. But to be fair, considering everything else you're releasing, I talked about them on the weekend, or last week I think, because they just released these non-Star Saga, if people want to use them for Dead Zone. So it's essentially a lab that has its own Black Ops military that occasionally uses some of the plague victims and crazy things that they've been growing in their labs. Obviously, they didn't start the plague. They're just, seeing how they can make best use of it at home.
Yeah, opportunities present themselves. Use them wisely. What's a PX Commando droid? Well, it's Star Wars Legion.
Yeah, there was a squad of them earlier on, but he's got a big bucket load of stuff, Star Wars-wise, to get through at some point.
He has had some kind of very expensive buying trip, by the looks of it.
I mean, it's very much the GW model. The fear of missing out is great with Star Wars, because it may not be there if you don't buy it the minute you see it.
Sadly, that has become more true than I'd like to admit.
So did they announce that they're discontinuing Legion and doing a new game from next year? Was that what the announcement was?
No, they're doing some weird of card game, and that's FFG, not Atomic Mass.
Ah, well, give them time.
But I can't really see why they would do a new card game, a deck building game.
Why not? They're cheap as fuck and people go bananas for them.
But I don't.
No, you don't. But other people do. I literally know stores in Belfast that are kept open by the Magic and
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh! And that sort of shit cards. Because what he makes in those in a week pays for everything. And then he'll occasionally sell a comic book.
Yeah, it's the same, or was the same with my friendly local game store when they had Friday Night Magic, Saturday. In the early day, they had the Yu-Gi-Oh! Kids going around and they were buying boosters and boxes by the metric ton.
Mm.
And Pokemon, of course, Pokemon.
How old are the Imperial Guard Stormtroopers, Dave? Are they the beret-wearing originals, or are they the gas mask?
2003.
Ah, so the gas masky ones. They did a set that looked like fucking Navy SEAL Spec Ops with like loads of, the little, the two little lenses, and then like a couple of other like
the night goggles.
Yeah, that type of shit going on. And they lasted for like 6 months before they released a new fucking Stormtrooper. It's weird. Even for GW, that was a ridiculous fucking rate of change.
Maybe this was one of the times where the backlash was actually heard.
No, because they were really nice models. Don't know why they decided to junk them and go for the Cadian-looking ones.
Maybe the molds were too expensive. Used too much plastic. Yes, Eclipse doing the Lord's work and making us all look very terrible in the wake of it.
Say goodbye to Kirby, the medical bot. Bye-bye, Kirby.
Bye-bye, Kirby.
The medical bot.
So
here we are. Relatively short one.
Short. A SEM-sized.
Oh, you'll still get 40 or 50 quid for it if it's a full squad. I know John was getting annoyed because people were charging upwards of 80 for them because you just can't get them.
We should have made a warning. This is an adult miniature.
Don't care.
No.
Any cunt who's got this far through the show should realise. So, Razor. I am fairly certain he got a golden bat ding for the creepy tree, which is called the Lonely Tree, and was an eclectic mix of stuff. But he's done a couple of the figures as well. So there's a Lonely Tree ghost or spirit who goes with the Lonely Tree.
I'm thinking it's safe. She's not showing
one.
nipples or anything.
Oh, don't worry. The next one is.
It is? Oh, nice.
Yep. Evil lady nipples ahead. I mean, no harm to Twitch. Fuck yourself, Twitch, obviously, and YouTube. You can't. But when you've got channels where it's just women moaning in the dark or sitting in a fucking hot tub or trying to open a fucking umbrella for 20 minutes in a bikini, then you've no right to fucking discuss anything about fucking
miniature nipples. Not even real ones. Yeah, but I don't know. Is that the hypocrisy of the owners being Americans?
Probably.
I mean, come on. If this lady was a real person and she would just cover her tits a bit more, she would be on Twitch everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And they
100%.
wouldn't mind. They would take their cut from any ad revenue she'd make.
Squeeze me. All right, cut. Okay, with you.
No,
A really nice paint job from Razor.
I like the fact that he's going up the skin tone scale very slightly.
I mean,
I know
the
I'm
models
struggling.
themselves are. I'm going to say this, despite the fact that they're quite chunky proportions, but then the sculpts themselves are quite delicate, especially around the face. So to capture the detail on the face is always good. Just especially noticeable on Santa Claus up the top, because she's got a little pink nose, as if it's very cold.
Didn't realize that. Pink nose.
It's because you were too busy staring at her massive norks. She's got huge tracts of land. You terrible man, you.
Real estate.
See?
Indeed, a lightly red nose. I hope she doesn't catch a cold. That's what you get if you don't clothe properly.
Is it real light or painted light, or does it matter?
And here's our lovely tree.
So, assume you've been the one dangling off her arm. If it gets any hotter, you'll fucking find me sitting in a tub.
Jagged marrow fruit. Well, I'm going to say there will be people lining up to see you in a hot tub.
They'll be sadly disappointed. Yeah, Kingdom Death Monster.
You may consume and archive this by the following nightmare membrane. You may.
Oh yeah, it's like somebody's plum sack.
Drifting dream feud. Somebody had way too much time on their hands.
Oh yeah, I think that is 100% the definition of Adam and Kingdom Death. Anybody who's still waiting on current waves of Kingdom Death will definitely say that's 100% Adam. If he could just speed himself the fuck up, that would be great as well.
Crispin says you have some Lemmy shorts.
Jerry, in Lemmy shorts, that would be a laugh. You know, he doesn't say I have them. He says it would be a laugh if I wore them.
Oh yeah, all right. I can't even read anymore.
I know, it's all of your terrible whiz drink going to your mind. Though you're drinking Kilkenny tonight, so you think that would help.
Maybe it's just the bottle. Maybe I'm tricksing you.
I know. Why would you do that? It's just the worst.
Because I'm a horrible person. I think we had established that fact for now.
That is true. That is true. But yeah.
Oh, the intimacy couple. I think. Did someone else do that set of miniatures? Because I remember we've seen that models before. At
Like
least
I
I
say,
think we have.
it got golden button, so it's entirely possible you watched it on the XLBS.
Possible.
Mm.
Maybe I had been paying attention, but I wouldn't guarantee it. Jesus Christ, how much... Oh God, we're not even halfway through this.
No. Once again, if you would actually pay attention to the project system.
The only time I pay attention to the project system is when I try to upload pictures and the bugger thing just craps out on me. Yes. Enough. Hunting of the Darkness, Kingdom Death Monster by Razor. Good work, mate. Good work.
We'll lose probably 30 years.
More, I'd say more than 30 years. These small Citadel pots with white lids are 30 years now. So I'm guessing those are 35 to 40 even.
I mean, possible. Is it probable though?
Even more projects. You're spoiling us.
Fuck yeah.
We Dwarfs, Kings of War by Not Bad the Bad. I remember this picture. Isn't it the cover version for the Diggy Diggy Hole? What's their face again?
No, they're Win something. I'm fairly certain. They've been touring like fuck at the moment. A security guard was crowd surfed one of their things, whereas
Oh
Diggy
yeah,
Dig
I've
Hole
seen
are
that.
cats. Several of which are still not dead, which offends me on a daily basis. Windrose, thank you. You would know, mind you. Anyway, Free Dwarves for Kings of War, much better game than ASFYOS, F, or whatever the fuck it's called. Very simple, but I think we'll all agree that the rock elementals are the best thing in the world ever.
If this doesn't validate a gold button, I'm going to be mad. Rock on.
Yeah, I'm going to be fucking mad. Never mind you.
Oh, that's
With
grand.
his mastiff chaff
Googly
packs.
eyes.
And I mean, as far as earth elementals go, that is some of the most realistic stonework I've seen since the last time I looked at some of my realistic stonework.
And as an added
But
bonus,
their eyes are so lifelike. It's
as
like
an
they follow
added
you around the
bonus,
room.
if you get very annoyed by your opponent, you just chuck him some of
Oh
them.
yeah, you just wing one at their head.
You don't even need a sock for them. Just go for it. Aim low.
Need to super glue some of the eyes on. The adhesiveness of the googly eyes is fighting the gunkiness of the rock and losing.
And just compare them to the normal miniatures.
I fucking love them. Oh, they're perfect.
Chunky bits.
Fit in a 40mm square. If they come towards you, you know that is a shambling horde of Defense 6 with Crush 2. You fucking know it. And you are going to suffer for it. I quite like the Cyclops ones as well, to be fair.
I mean,
every elemental is slightly different.
I've heard the term that units get rubbed when a clash between two fronts, but these would actually mill you to death.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that's the first 750 points. Cause this is going to be part of I want to say it was a slow grow league, building up towards a full thingy thing. Yeah, oh yeah. I definitely would not transfer them in the same tray.
Those go in the bottom. Yeah, this is lovely.
Nice thing is, if you leave them at home, you can always nip outside to the car park, replenish your ranks.
I'd say, just looking at the rocks, the most expensive part was probably the bases, followed by the googly eyes.
You know, that's the way to do it.
I think we need some kind of competition where people make up the most weirdest way to display a unit of anything. Like, these are proper rock giants, and if you do small red letters spelling blood, those are blood letters. So we need an army of silliness.
Just looking for some sort of pun army.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Very punishing to play this army. You automatically lose if you laugh at any of the units. You need to keep a straight face.
I meant to say when they were on offer. This isn't for you, Tim. You can go on to the next project. Just say. If we're all done here. But EM4, the people who have the old Grenadier plastics are selling their bags of 50 at 25% off at the moment. So they're like £10. So if you want great axe wielding dwarves, spear dwarves for your bullwalkers, crossbows, which aren't great crossbows, but you can easily convert them into rifles via the medium of a small piece of tubing or a box full of earbuds. They've also got the 3 orc ones, but like 1066 is for fuck all.
That seems like a bargain. Nick, Dave, I don't think fire elemental would be too risky. You just take a little chili pepper. It burns too. So this is Warboss. They nice little guy going live on Thursday again, I guess.
Yes.
Wobbled.
Every Thursday from 8 p.m. BST.
British Standard Time.
That's the one. Prepping for his third mission in Assassin's Creed, or Ass Creed, as the cool kids call it. He has this weird thing where he only plays with painted miniatures.
Weird fetish.
Yeah, I know, it's madness. However, it is interesting watching it all come together. I'm looking at my box next door and going, maybe I should just do the same. Just knuckle down and fuck speed paints over everything.
But the weird thing is, after the last few episodes of his stream, I always heard him talk about Ass Creed, but never seen him actually paint anything.
See, he does what you just don't see, because he's like an assassin in that respect.
Ninja painter.
Ninja painter, you can't pick up his stealthy ways. He has been absolutely fucking hammering through these. There is one video up so far of the first scenario. Clearly he's done mission 2, but he hasn't put it in the project.
Maybe he missed taking pictures and now is ashamed of...
No, I didn't take pictures. It's a video. He uploaded the video from his YouTube's, which means you can go there, off to Yellow Belly Gaming and Poke It With Sticks to see. Not Yellow Belly Gaming, Yellow Belly Tabletop. Yellow Belly Gaming is some other pricks.
Why Yellow Belly?
It means cowardly. You yellow-bellied son of a fuck. Fill your hands, you no good yellow-bellied liver-talking bitch.
So the equivalent
of... Memory 2 was uploaded last month.
So basically the equivalent to being an Angsthase, a fear rabbit. A fearful one.
Pretty much, yep. In yellow, are you? I will remind him on Thursday night, or I might remind him in Discord later on. Haven't decided. So there's no point in preparing for mission 3 before you've uploaded mission 2, Warbossed.
You need to be correct in your numbers, otherwise the angry German will come around.
Ice cream's not a million miles away, the days. Not a million miles away. Yeah, it's really nice. It's a really nice little game. The quality of the miniatures is surprisingly good for a board game.
Maybe they thought they need to work against the bad reputation that is Ubisoft.
I don't know. Maybe the game still clips and all sorts of shit. You can fall into mission 5 by going up on a wall on mission 2.
Can you imagine a board game where you put your miniature on the board and suddenly it just lands on the floor, dropping through your table?
But the crowd behind this, who are French-Canadian, are about to or have just released a World War II stealth game. I've got some prototype resin figures up there from it, which I think are absolutely fucking gorgeous. So it'll be interesting to see that.
For something that he's been hammering out with speed paints, he went for an awful lot of detail.
All of the details on it, so he's not having to paint anything, he just has to
but
splodge the stuff in the right place.
He still needs to be careful not to go overboard.
Oh yeah, well, just because you're painting something with speed paints doesn't mean you should just balls to the wallet and throw... What's the word I'm looking for? Throw results out the window, you know. Board game miniature, you're never getting those mold lines off. It's worse than SEOcast.
I'm still waiting for my first SEOcast to actually have something to compare it against.
To get one someday. You won't.
Sooner or later,
well,
actually, I'm afraid.
Fucking everybody is moving to it. You will.
And speaking of hammering down,
yes,
Houston, we have a problem.
Yes. Are you out of beer?
No. I just need to
Oh
open
no,
another one.
that's terrible. If I knew who or what Britcon was and could care.
So don't be afraid. I came prepared.
Ralphie.com's just uploaded a new malt video. Oh, it's his extra video. Sweet. Multi-malt mats.
No, Dutch, it won't be warm. Let me show you.
Has he got some sort of cleverness? This is like
Hey.
one of those clever things. Oh, cooler bag.
I may be stupid, but I'm not dumb. Yes, so Warbost doing Assassin's Creed, Raiders of the Lost Ass or something. What's next?
Next,
Dark Denigan, welcome.
Bob.
Bob.
Or as he's
Sea
known to his
dogs?
friends, Kate. Scurvy sea dogs, Elizabethan sea dogs. Dogs at sea.
Those look nice.
So, having got his hands on some conquistadors, decided to do Silver Bayonet, but during the conquistadori raping of Middle America, which has led to all sorts of interesting conversations with Bob, including where can you get gallo glass from?
Oh,
And
what
then
is
after-
gallo glass?
Oh, mad Irish bastards. Or mad Scottish bastards. Or mad Viking bastards, delete as applicable. The madness and the bastardy stays regardless, as does the massive fuck-off axes. But he's actually kit bashed a bunch of them using the Scandi box set from Fireforge and the Conquistador box from War Games Atlantic to get the right helmets and stuff.
Mm. Spaniards started.
Yep.
Well, this is... He's being added again, isn't he? This is just 3 days old.
Oh, yeah. We started talking about it 2 weeks ago, maybe a bit less. And then by the end of the week, he'd already bought the boxes and started converting them and had them sort of painted up the next day.
So you
So, I mean,
didn't even
there's-
have time to catch some breath before talking to him, or after talking to him.
No, you never get the time.
Seeing the Games Workshop paint pots in the rear, can you explain to me why I'm always forgetting to close the lids on my Agrax Earthshade and the
Okay,
other
were-
wash? Can't
Were you
remember.
not beaten enough?
I
You didn't
don't
have
know.
a local Games Workshop to go into, did you? It's very simple. Anybody who painted at the table and left the lid open got banned from painting
Well, I
for 2 weeks.
never painted in a Games Workshop store.
Oh, well,
so-
that'd be why then. That sooner or later, that fucking drummed it into people to close the bastard pots.
But the funny thing, every other paint pot is getting closed. It's just Agrax Earthshade and... Oh, what's the black one called? Damn it.
No,
No, oh, yes, thank you. So, if I use them, they stay open for some odd reason. And then the
they
next
probably
day I
open
go, oh,
themselves
fuck.
when you're not looking. So they either knock themselves over or dry out.
Oh, they can't knock
semi-sentient pots
themselves
of paint.
out over because...
It's a way to do it. He's buggered off.
Oh, where are you? Because they're in this very deep recess, so they can't be knocked over.
Right.
Impossible. But they stay open.
Yeah,
I
so they
just-
dry out. That's good enough. Now, as long as you have to replace them, that is the important part. Whether they throw themselves under a bus or just sit in the hot, direct sunlight.
I'm terrible at this, yeah.
Apparently so. But, yeah, he's already made what I'm going to say is far, far, far more than he needs.
To have is better than need.
Well, he may be supplying all of them, or they may be using the Silver Bayonet rules for something more extravagant, because it looks like he wants to run whole ships worth. Tim is always talking about his deep recess.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. It's either that or Hitler. It's one or the other every week without fail. We just can't stop you.
Fine. See, this is what I'm still needing some texture paste for basing.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I still lack. I don't have.
Oh, you should probably get some of that. I quite like Bob's approach, which is very similar to my approach, which is it doesn't matter what color you buy, put it on first when it's dry,
and then
prime the model, and then spin it afterwards. Fuck up.
Is probably the best way to do it.
Oh, Bot War, I remember that when it was cool. Shame nobody plays it anymore. Crying shame. Oh well, never catch on.
Hey,
but yeah, interesting little project, and fascinating to see what happens and who's going to be doing the Aztecing.
Not to confuse with the Aztecing on a Imperial Star Destroyer.
Yep, that. Or the Enterprise.
Did the Enterprise have Aztecing? I remember. Wasn't paying close attention.
And I think they had it first. Because I think they did it for the TV series.
Could very well be, and just not be seen as good because of the horrible TVs back in the day. Bob doing the Lord's own work, converting and painting and potentially playing games.
Don't worry, he will be doing the Lord's own work. There's an awful lot of Aztecs are about to find Christianity. Whether they want it or not. If you don't find Christianity, then Christianity will fucking find you. Knock, knock, knock.
The Jesus pun where he knocks on the door. Let me in. Why? So I can save you. Save me from what? From what I'm going to do to you if you don't let me in.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I discovered a great bit of news recently, or a little factoid. And that is, if you ever get those Mormons coming to your door and you want to get rid of them, you know how they're very persistent. All you need to do is go, oh, come right ahead in. I'm an ex-Mormon myself. They're not allowed to talk to lapsed Mormons in case it spreads. They will not come back, and they will tell their little clique of bastards not to knock on that door anymore because there's a heretic there. And you will be all of a sudden completely Mormon free.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a fucking great thing.
I like the approach that a German comedian has proposed to do. He said he has a can of bean soup next to the door. So every time when Jehovah's Witness or any other religious lunatic knocks on his door, he just opens the can of soup, puts some in his mouth, opens the door and goes, "I've been waiting for you."
It's one way of doing it. The exorcist maneuver.
Yes.
Fear the split pea soup. Go on, start fearing it. There are two, I believe, Dave. They're not both allowed out at the same time. Anyway, this is a person called Crispin. It's a very weird way of spelling Crispin. Anyway, this is Crispin.
Throat wobble a mangrove.
Yep. And he's working on a ship. Now, we've seen his ships before. This ship is
Oh, Crispin, I know what he did there. Oh, you son of a gun.
Don't know what you mean. The ship he'd used previously for 40k game, the HMS Wheatstraw, named after the greatest film of all time, wasn't big enough to play a game on, apparently, despite being massive.
Okay, that's it. I'm done.
I don't. We seem to have broke the German. Best house. FRBHKWHD, which is the follow-up to ASIOAIFO by Cool Mini or not. It's an amazing t-shirt.
It would be even more funny if he had a typo in it and wouldn't even notice.
I mean, how could you not? Anyway, so there is currently the central section of... Do we have a name for the ship, Crispin? Is it called the FRBHKWHD? Oh, yeah.
USS Cocksucker.
It's one way of doing it, certainly.
That's just a
Yeah. So,
larger-than-life model?
I think when everything is on, because this is the central section, one of three, I think he said originally it wasn't going to be as big as me, but then he said afterwards when the other bits and guns are added, it will be bigger than me. Oh, it's definitely bigger than Ben. That central section by itself is probably bigger than Ben.
I've got a suggestion for a name for that thing. Call it the Badger.
The Badger. Go growling at the Badger. Just shy of 8 feet. Fucking amazing. So, unlike the previous Billion Suns fighters, this one also doubles as a gaming table in its own right.
You know, there are these companies doing these weird dining gaming tables and sell them for an awful lot of money.
Yeah.
I'd be much more happy to pay that amount of money for a gaming table that looks like that.
I mean, look, Aztecing that you don't have to mask off.
Yes.
It's all just there. Ah, beautiful.
Beautiful. Rampant Badger.
Yes, it's Rampant Badger. Mm. Well,
What's
I think it's more, it's like a sleeping bag or a sleep pod for when he finally gets sent to sleep outside.
Isn't it the or British ships, aren't they called HMS?
Yes.
So you need to make it the HMS Rampant Badger. Star Badger.
Yeah. There was a slight issue vis-a-vis the weight and the clip system. It was not able to support itself. But, you know, shame, because everything else was going swimmingly.
Well, you could just add some tubing.
It's not thick enough for tubing. If you add too much tubing, then you're going to lose the aerodynamics of your ship.
Or just make some conduits on the inside and let them run on the floor.
I think that's part and parcel of why it's going to end up being 3-sectioned. So each section can be self-supporting.
For some odd reason, I now have... I imagine Crispin assembling that thing, plonking it on the roof of his car, going somewhere, having to brake very suddenly, and then just this thing goes flying across the intersection.
Be good, because as you're sitting there, you'd see it coming over the top, just like the opening shot.
No, it would be the scene from Spaceballs, where they surpass the Eagle and just go plate. Aerodynamics, mass, and everything else.
Oh, spaceships, very important. I remember watching somebody explaining the Enterprise D class in terms of aerodynamics while a Borg cube sat on the shelf behind him. I'm thinking, oh, aerodynamics are very important, are they? Explain to me the square.
Well, they don't go into warp, they just go through some kind of tunnel.
Sure, of course they do. Why not? Anyway, so yeah, another little short one, just to let people know what the
Ben
fucking
did.
legend of what the legend of the House of Order is up to, and of course Ben.
We need a selfie with him and the finished project just to have a size of scale. In lack of a banana man.
I'm sure we'll get one.
Can only go downhill from here, but let's try it. What's the next project?
Well, nobody else has got a smashing blouse on like Crispin did. You can do one better. You're going to kidnap Ben and force him at gunpoint to have his picture taken beside the ship. That would be awesome. I will start arranging it. Oh, battle reports with the ship. Oh, there you go. How do you not like that?
Horatio is painting ancient miniatures.
I did find a project that Horatio was doing that wasn't private. Wasn't easy, but I did find it. So the good old Fantasy Lords set from Grenadier.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he used in this project multiple sets that are re-releases of ancient models.
It's possible that he's got some re-releases from somewhere. Some of the Grenadier stuff's still on the go. I know that.
Because there was one entry in this project where the box set 2003 or 2007, but he told me then that the actual models were from the mid-80s, so...
Say it's entirely possible, because like the post I put up earlier for EM4, you have got Grenadiers plastics and some of their hobbits. Merleton in Italy have most of the metals. So they're still releasing things, which is why you can get that Demigorgon from Stranger Things.
As original.
Yeah, the one they use in the game, not the one that runs about the place with the big flower head. It's not actually a Demigorgon, but I can't remember the actual monster it's supposed to be. But
here's the... Or maybe that's just the set number, I couldn't tell, 2007.
Oh no, that's...
No, edition 2019, so there's a re-release of sorts.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, it's from Merleton.
And I can't really tell you, but I love these metal miniatures from way back when, even though they are, compared to some of the modern sculpts, partially crude or very bulky, lacking detail, but they have so much spirit, so much soul and life.
Depends on the model. The Wood Elves that... I think it was Cobblestone sculpted the Wood Elves for Grenadier, and they're still some of the best, if not the best, Wood Elf models in 28mm. They don't have a lot of wank on them. They're not doing stupid shit like fucking pole dancing or lap dancing or twizzling around a fucking log. It's just a bunch of evil-looking fucking feral elves with spears who are going to shit you right up. So, pretty sure he does. With this creepy little grin on the back of the box. It probably says that, actually. There's probably a warning that goes, this box contains 10 finely sculpted Grenadier miniatures. They contain lead, not suitable for children. And if you see this man when you turn around, run. Run quickly, children. Don't stop. Run all the way home. That's us.
Father of role-playing.
Look at him. Look at him. See, we can't see him because you're too centered because of the croppage. You need to scroll across to your right a bit so we can see Dave and all his... Oh, there we go. Look at that. Not going to catch me at fucking TSR-Com, you gats. Oh, anybody who's not been following the new TSR thing really should. It's a fucking delight.
Oh,
just saying.
Are they into hot water again?
Oh, they're never out of it.
Okay.
But the most recent thing is they're running their... I can't even remember what they're calling it. It may actually be TSR-Con, but they're running it the same day that GaryCon is being run. You can sign up for games, but they're not telling you what the games are or who's running them. You just have to sign up. And
so it's a blind buy.
And they're not shit when you arrive. But don't go to GaryCon. Come to us.
Yeah, TSR name only. They had been...
I don't even think in name. I'm pretty sure it's a $T $R to get around the fucking licensing.
Yeah, I think that's what hurts the hobby most currently. People reusing
Spanky.
old names.
Oh, they're not just reusing old names. They're reusing old people's sons.
It's even worse.
You've got Gary Gygax's son, Ernie, is on board, but he keeps signing everything Gary Gygax. So he's not currently using Ernie or Ernest. He's
Well,
using
that would devalue his brand.
Well, the important thing is to try and link it back to Gary. That's the important thing. But anyway, we're getting distressed.
Yeah. But Horatio, a rare site with open projects.
Look at that. Madness. He'll never catch on. He'll probably put this one closed again.
I hope he doesn't.
Oh, I imagine he will. He's even done editing using PhotoP. Well done.
Weird. Why would he do that?
Because it's cheaper than pay money for Photoshop, which I've discovered via the medium of Shay, that he bought it or paid for it, and now he wants to unsubscribe, and it will cost him like £215 to unsubscribe.
What?
I just went, you know what? I don't know what contract you sign whenever you do your, because I was going, how long was your fucking thing for? It's like, no, it's like a monthly sub, but it must be if you unsub before like a year or whatever, you get hit with this thing. I'm just going,
I guess something along those lines.
Take your credit card details off it. And just tell your credit card not to fucking pay that bill.
That's why you use GIMP.
Yeah, that's, well, no, because I tried to use GIMP once and it was fucking appalling. PhotoP is much easier.
Yeah, okay, so
I would definitely send a shit in a box to Photoshop.
Let's settle on the fact, don't use Adobe products if you can avoid it.
Oh, God, no. Certainly don't pay for them. Fuck. If they're going to do that, you paid us. Now you don't want to pay us anymore.
No, you need to pay more.
You got to pay us to go away. I'm pretty sure that's something that you would generally hear in an Italian-American accent.
Well, and I'm guessing
you hear the word capiche.
And I'm guessing that's something Games Workshop would like to do as well. Oh, you're stopping to play our games. Now we need to charge you a fee. Well, Moonstone, by the days. Is he still around? Is he asleep? We don't know. He might be still in chat. Hello, the days. Let us know. Because I need to...
Yeah, letting your company pay for it, that's fine. But, Jesus, I mean, I would seriously, they would get a shit in the box so fast, their heads would spin. I wouldn't even time to put it in a box. I'd just go and put my ass to their letterbox and just pump one straight into their fucking front door. The DS has been doing this thing called Moonstone, which I believe is a game.
For the kids?
Yeah. He's been working on.
That's a bug holding in pesticides, brother.
Yes. That's not a bug, that's a goblin that unfortunately has been bug-upped.
He's buggered.
He is. He's also got a little pair of gardening secateurs in his other hands. He's very keen on the old gardening. And the fact that he happens to have been inconvenienced mildly. You know?
That's an interesting little fellow. With his big boomstick.
Boom Boom McBoom. Now, I'm not sure whether Soap should be offended by this or I should be offended by it. But I'm fairly certain one of us should be offended by it.
Because of the hairstyle, or?
Well, he's a McBoom for a start. He's rocking that massive ginger beard and hairstyle, and he apparently is a bit of a lunatic with a blunderbuss. So, you know, no kilt, it's us. That could have been a kilt, he just hasn't painted tartan on it. We don't know. Where's the dace? Get him to flip the model over. Tell us if it's a kilt or something else. We introduced kilts to Scotland, for fuck's sake. Then we went, we're not wearing these anymore. Anyway. Yeah. Interesting bunch of figures.
I love the Beaky Bobby.
Yeah. I know he was starting to play games with a group at the club and sort of supplying all the models, which meant he had to get multiple gangs or troops, as I believe the kids call it in Moonstone, painted up in a short space of time. So once more, no tartan paint left. Shame. So yeah, this time sent out to get the stuff on the go. Have you been playing any more games? And if so, have you been trying to link them into the campaign that's running? I'm just saying, currently Eric is drifting towards La Chevalte, which is how you pronounce that, by the way. La Chevalte.
I love this little Biggie Bobby. He reminds me of that dude selling letters from Sesame Street.
Could be that.
It probably is his weird cousin or something.
But, hey kids, want to buy some drugs?
Well,
Ever tell you about the time we sent a kid
candy?
out to buy some striped paint?
Can
He
you
was like
imagine
a
what
little
will happen to the
local
hobby
type.
sphere if actually somebody invents something like tartan paint?
You know, it seems everything else. People go mental and everything will have tartan on it for about 4 months. And then people go, I'm fucking bored of seeing tartan. Then I get shelved again for a while.
Oh, technically, it's actually possible. I don't know how that painting method is called. Is when you use floating paints on oil.
Yes,
and you just
another
dip
one
them.
it's hydro dipping.
Yes,
or
hydro
something like
dipping.
that.
That would actually work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it would. But that's an awful lot of effort to go to. More effort, I dare say, than I could be arsed with.
Indeed. But it would be interesting.
Yeah. We sent a kid out to well worse actually. Toros will have a rough idea of how fucking long ago that was, to get some striped paint, and whoever was talking to him in the shop sent him back to ask whether we needed vertical or horizontal stripes. I don't know. We don't know who the person was who sent him back, because he wasn't part of the fucking joke, but it was great because we just went, we're putting them on diagonal, so either will do. Send them back again.
Oh, you mad bastards. Don't you love these pranks you pull on poor little innocent peoples?
Yep. Fucking the best way.
Go get the adjustment screw for the level.
Yeah, I need an air bubble for spirit level. Anywho,
Yeah.
sky hooks and elbow grease, yep. Yeah, I quite like what's happened so far with the Goblinos. Even if he has offended my kith and kin with his racist McBoom Boom.
Well, that's just there to give you a target to fight against.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking. For one, I'm appalled. Appalled, I say. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to hearing about your next game. You can just tell us about it in Discord if you don't want to write up a full bat rep. But if you tell us about it in Discord, I'll know that you've played it, which means you could have wrote up a full bat rep, and I'll be very disappointed in you.
Oh, I think Crispy is going to tell a very horrible source.
Oh, yes. Do it. Told one of my co-workers I could make my team leader punch a locker.
Pretending that I made a dent in the locker. And the conclusion? Oh.
While he's typing, we can go on to the next one.
Crispy, type schneller. And then my lead kept punching it till his hand bled. Oh, flock.
Was he trying to replicate your denting? Did he not know that you were like Bruce Lee?
My dent is larger than yours.
Class. That sounds like a guy with too much testosterone.
Yeah, or a problem regarding being self-assured of this leadership. So Artemis 5150
Artemis Crab Frog
is doing
Artemis Crab Frog.
weird stuff.
Yeah, so he did some commission painting. Anthony seen the work he'd done on somebody else's bot war stuff and asked if he'd paint some stuff up for him. So you're doing that. However, currently they're in playtest for the new 28/30mm skirmish game based in the bot war universe called Rise of Democracy. So I have the democracy in bot war. They're tiny little people, tiny, almost too tiny, where you get like fuckloads of them on a base. Now here they are all scaled up. As you can see, he's doing some stonking work, which I presume will be all over the fucking box art and inside the rulebook.
Yeah, and on the shop page and everywhere
fucking
else.
everywhere. Everywhere.
And he's teasing.
I've seen the extra blurry picture. You realise that's deliberate, Dutch?
Yes.
Because it's still under embargo, so he can't show any of it. Is that why you only give him one thumbs up thing? Is that why? Just check. Anyway.
Why would I only give him one? I gave him more.
No, not you,
Oh.
chimp. Dutch posted whenever he first put it up yesterday. He was going, this is in the project system. And there's a big blurry picture in it. Everything I take is 100% in focus. Just some people are looking at it blurry. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, Crispin, that's my thought exactly on that flying bike.
On the flying bike, yes, but not just mask. It's a homage to all 80s things. So, for example, there's a very G.I. Joe looking guy there with the big fucking Sergeant Major hat. There's also a Snake Eyes looking ninja. In fact, there's a whole clan of ninjas.
And if you look at the other ranges Anthony is doing, there is more than one 80s cartoon lending ideas. But he's doing very nicely. Both of them are.
They're fucking stonking. What about you, MacLeod? Are you going to get involved in this? I know he was looking for playtesters a while back, but there was no way I was going to bother because two reasons. One, I don't have the time to playtest, and two, you had to be able to 3D print out the playtest models.
See, there's two reasons I could add to my list of why I won't go down that route.
Yep.
Plus, Fantasy World's still not really playing nice, wanting to be a supplier of bot war in
Just
Germany.
order from the Swedes. Just go, look, doesn't matter. I found another European country who will supply it and aren't fucks about it.
Yeah, we've been down that road more than once. Maybe sometimes. I've still got...
You can't complain because it's not the only fucking people in Europe who are supplying it. If it was the only people and they were fucking around,
and I will,
then you would have grounds for complaint. But it's not. So this one is solely down to you.
I can complain how much I ever like, if it's valid or not. But currently I'm busy doing... hold on.
Marsha.
Doing these.
Frostgrave. What are you using them for?
Frostgrave?
Wow. I'll never catch on.
And also just because I like the fact that these models are posable, multi-part, and I can just slap them together in any way, shape, or form I want.
Remember how I was saying with the wizards, you don't really need all men or all women. Would it not be easier for them just to put a spray of each in a box and just say wizards now? And then save the shelf space. I've seen somebody complaining on the Weekender about that, or in a news post, going, everybody's online saying this. And then somebody underneath went, no, I've just checked and nobody has mentioned that. You're the only person who's even said it. Where are you getting that from? So clearly you watched the Hobby Hangout and then decided to take a bitch. Fuck yeah. You can't. Just man up and goes watch the Hobby Hangout and he said it. Not everybody on the internet is saying it. Because apparently nobody on the internet has fucking even mentioned it before. It was just me going, it'll save him shelf space.
It would, and also I think it would be an incentive for people to buy.
I mean,
especially
it
on
mean,
troops.
Yeah, it would mean double tapping his to the. It just means the next time they're reprinting the wizards, instead of reprinting the wizard boxes, just hang on and just do a new SKU and just mix them.
Yeah, and let's face it.
Frostgrave Knights. When I did my unboxing, I may have talked about the shields in it, and then Lloyd decided to cut that out because apparently I went off on one for about 5 minutes. Don't really need to see you ranting about those shields for 5 minutes in the middle of Frostgrave week or whatever it was that I was unboxing them for. Just going, I don't fucking care. Why have they put flat, chunky planks with no detail on one shield, and then the shield reverse on another one has got lovely wood grain? If it's going to be hidden by the arm and body of the fucking model, don't bother putting the wood grain on that one. Put the wood grain on the fucking shield where the wood grain's facing out, for fuck's sake. Anyway, Knight box is quite nice. The Knights mix very well with the Demon box.
And let's face it, this here sprue, if you use them with female and male heads, the bodies will not change dramatically because they all wear so much
they're
stuff.
all wearing big long dresses.
Yeah, basically. So why not just use one of the male, one of the female, and let's
all
have
the
them.
parts are mixable anyway. It's solely just for the wizards.
And there are so many wizards heads that I could build all the models and not use one warrior head.
Yep.
It's insane.
That's how the magic happens.
But then again, people need to make money, don't they?
Tank rants? I don't think we've had a tank rant. Does John do tank rants?
Apparently. Sometimes, when he's allowed.
I know he's really annoyed whenever I didn't put one tank picture up after visiting the tank museum.
That was very cruel of you. Yes, it was.
I really like the fact that they had a little toy soldier museum upstairs in the tank museum. Anyway.
Yes.
So yeah, one to look out for if you're not already into the bot war, or if giant robots punching each other in the face isn't your bag. Maybe the more skirmishy style of a standard sort of 28mm will be up your Strasser instead.
Yeah. What's the last project for today so we can conclude our tightly scripted 30 minutes?
Tightly scripted 30 minutes.
42 is doing Legion.
He is?
And is it for real? Isn't this a battle report?
Well, this isn't a battle report, but there is a battle report in there.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to say, because I was talking to Lena about this before the show, and it was like 42 will often just put random titles in just to either amuse himself or wind me up. So there have been things in the past that said things like battle report, and it's the same project that just keeps changing its title, which I'm 100% behind. Never change. But there is actually a battle report in here. So, one best painted Star Wars Legion army at something German and convention-y.
Yeah, that was the championship for the world qualifier for Asmodee Germany. So
were you
that's
there, Tim?
More official it doesn't get.
Look, he's got bubbly feet. I can't see anywhere that it says that he must immediately back down whenever his opponent says he should do something different. Which I'm pretty sure is one of his rules now. Okay, Boba Fett's going to move over here, is he though? Or is he going to stay where he is and take a dodge token? Okay, Bubbly Feet's going to stay where he is and take a dodge token. Thought he would. But yeah, there we have our narrative battle report. Look, with pictures.
I love the paint job on these, but not being the beige, weird skeleton-looking guys.
Well, yeah, right off the bat, just not being beige on beige is great. I mean, we've seen that earlier with Horus's. He did a set in purple and grey as well for his battle droids. And it's just nice changing them up.
Also, it makes it much easier to pick them up when you have played against someone you don't know. You're definitely low. Those are mine. Keep your fingers away from them.
I will catch you. You could scream. If it helps you, you can see the print lines and some of the wooden trees and stuff in the background. So,
why would that help me?
Well, I mean, everything else about this is fucking amazing. Surely we need something to pull it back down to our level.
He's using the tournament kit. This is the the set from Atomic Mass Games for tournaments.
Yeah.
That I still need to get my hands on somehow. So many text.
It's interesting, Spanky. A well-written narrative battle report, I will quite happily read the whole thing. See, I really am a bad person to answer this, because I could watch or read a whole battle report that is just blow by blow as well. What 42 has done there, where it is pretty much 100% narrative, without any of the bits and bobs in there, is spot on. What you could do is sort of pitch it. It depends how much you like writing fiction, I suppose, because it's very easy to write down what happened in a very meticulous way. It's harder then to make it read like a bit of fiction. But then when I ran a Saga campaign up at Bresabor, whenever I was just sort of going up there the first time, I would write what had happened and what the upcoming battles were going to be and who they're going to be between in a very narrative way. And then some of the players would go, "Can you just tell us who I'm playing next week?" So, but you've named your warband leader and he's named his, and I've taken the scenario, so I've written why Conovar's son is out for fucking revenge against Hengist and blah blah blah. So I write these big narrative things, and then people just go, "I don't really understand what the mechanics are behind it." I suppose it comes down to what you want to get out of it. If you just want to report a battle, you can do it very succinctly. If you don't mind taking the time of being a bit more flourishy in it, you can go full narrative. If something sort of 60-40 works better for you either way, write the majority narrative and then maybe occasionally, or write the majority as scripted, turn one, these went here, and then like a little paragraph to give a synopsis of the turn might be a good way of doing it,
Yeah, every time I have written up battle reports in the past, I had the feeling that I'm missing something, because I definitely forgot one or two units that moved somewhere, and every time I came to a point where I thought, okay, I'm missing half of the battle, and it almost feels like lying, but in the end the result was that what was actually worth writing the stuff up. So
yeah, the little photo gallery Kings of War one that I sent Dave was good, and I didn't send you the other guy who also put up his battle reports. He's also a New Zealander, but they both do it very similar. It's like photo montage while they talk about what's happening. So you just need to find what works for you. I like the idea of going full narrative and then doing a behind the scenes one if people are interested, although you are doubling your workload.
Yeah, that's the thing, recorded in time lapse. I think that would be a thing I need to do to actually get my things in order, or to take constantly notes. What would actually slow down the procedure very much.
What am I looking for? It's not that. I'm just going to see if I can find this for Dave, but I probably won't. Whew, Jesus. Oh no, I had found it. Oh. Well done, me.
What a coincidence.
The problem is, and it's very apparent for some tournament gamers, is how much time it takes. And it's fine if you're playing solo, but if you're playing with an opponent, if you're going to be taking 5 or 10 minutes to take loads of pictures, it's not great. But I think if you take a picture at deployment, then take a picture at the end of your first turn and a picture at the end of their first turn, and just take a picture at the end of the turn, and then you can see what's gone on. Whenever I tried to do battle reports in the past, my first turn I would take 150 pictures, and the second turn 12 pictures, and the third turn 1, and then I'd forget the fourth and fifth turn, and then I would take like 3 pictures in turn 6.
Yeah,
and try
exactly.
and reconstruct the missing ones.
That's what's happening to me all the time.
Yeah, so picture for deployment, and then a picture at the end of each player's turn, or if it's an I go, you go style game, just take a picture at the end of the turn. And you'll be able to see who's moved where and what units have gone away. And that's pretty much all you need. I remember you talking about that. I don't think we discussed glassing your opponent. But I certainly thought about it in my head. Look at that fucking, if you go back one, that's a free dwarf army. Look at this. I'd like to point out those are dwarves. That is not even turn 1, and that army is halfway up the fucking table. Everything's got Pathfinder and Scout. It's a fucking amazing list. I'm 100% stealing that, which wasn't why I was on EM4 looking at the price of their Dwarven Spear Levy. I'm just saying. Although it may have been why I was on EM4 looking at the price of the Dwarf Spear Levy. Look at them. Your opponent won't know what the fuck's going to hit them. Well, they will know what's going to hit them. Every hunting dog in Christendom is going to hit them. Anyway, I digress.
That's what we're here for. Digression beyond belief. And with
So that's...
What? You cut out.
Did I?
Yes.
I didn't say anything offensive. That's the other one for you, Dave, who also does battle reports. He also says hello and goodbye in, like, Maori. I don't know what the Maori language is. It's just really weird. Okonoko kucharacha. Or something. Not like that, but, you know.
La cucaracha, la cucaracha.
Haribo rings. And then you can eat them afterwards. I used to do something similar with my Skaven army, where all my warpstone was little green jelly babies. And every time I used warpstone on a spell for a warlock or grey seer, I would eat them. And that way I knew how many I had left.
Oh dear, that's... We're coming back to this edible army.
Edible armies,
I think I need to get myself a bag of tiny little Santa Clauses in chocolate when Christmas comes around. Play a little chocolate army game.
Ah, we're going now anyway, Dave. Keep our country. Speak to you soon.
Yes, Dave. Have a good one. And everybody else in chat, thanks for enduring our rambly bits today. Also, thank you, Jerry, for picking out the nice projects.
Yes, 5 leagues. That's what it was. I remember now. Anyway. Navio.
Links will be
hot.
down in the descriptions on YouTube if you
Won't be in the description if you're only coming along now and it's not now, but like now, later now. Like this is recorded now. then this isn't the now when you should be seeing the thing. So fuck yeah.
Yeah, but also we won't tell them that the links in the descriptions will be a trap. They will all lead to horrible places. Like live videos from Justin Bieber or something.
Oh, you know, it'd be good. What time is it? Oh, it's probably too late for you. You should go to bed. I'm just going to add this into the chat, though, because this is fucking hilarious.
Oh, God.
Everybody needs to go and watch this.
Oh, God.
It's great. It's fucking great. It's amazing. It's so funny. It's very, 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 very funny. And catchy.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. They all explode.
Spoilers.
Makes your head explode.
I'm sorry, what?
Hey, want some juice?
Oh, yes, please.
Wait, you just said that makes your head explode.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I didn't.
You did?
No, I said it's...
Juice that makes your head explode.
Which is just its name. It won't make your head explode.
What a relief.
Oh, my God, the juice!
Oh, you want some juice?
Yeah. No, his head just exploded!
These things happen. You know how it is. On a Tuesday.
It's Wednesday.
Hey, you want some juice?
Okay, don't drink that. Why not? It'll make your head explode. Is this true?
No.
I love how they're tiny cups.
Also, you see how they just splatter And she's absolutely clean. There's not a drip of blood on her.
Well, she's clearly hydrophobic or something like that.
Bloodphobic.
Just repels. Hemophobic. Anyway, yeah, all of you need to watch that.
And I need to go to that
questions?
now because beer is almost empty. And tomorrow there will be an interview. I'll be interviewing... Rumbly, are you listening? I'm going to be interviewing Anthony.
There's Zorg. Hello, Zorg. I seen your private things. I looked at them and touched them and then...
We went
Make them
all of
public.
your private parts.
Make your private things public. Bye!
Bye!